So guys, let's talk about, let's do a little training here, right? On front end activity. And I think that if we're recording this, are we recording? This will be a good video that people can watch later on, because what sets you apart in sales, in business, in entrepreneurship, right? It's front end activity. If I work at McDonald's and I'm making the burgers, that's back end activity. McDonald's Corporation, McDonald's marketing, the franchisor, whoever it is, they brought the customers in. If I'm a project manager at an IT company, at a government contracting company, I'm doing back end work. But in corporate, there's a position called BD or BD work. You know what that is? Business development. That's front end work. Someone's got to bring the business in for people to do the work. Does that make sense? There's back end work. There's front end work. Entrepreneurs do front end work. If you work for a company and you don't own it, most likely you are doing back end work that someone else in the company, either the owner or the marketing team or whatever, they created that business for you. You are now getting paid to process that job, process that work, right? Or in some scenarios, you were hired to do the front end work for the company, but you're not really reaping the benefits the way that the company is, right? So let's talk about front end work. See, results are back end. People want to get more premium. People want to get more recruits. People want to get more productive agents. People want to get more money. People say, I want to make more money. In life, people say, hey, I want to get in better shape. I want to lose weight. That's the result. But something has to happen way over here that leads to that result. That's what we need to focus on. You don't lose weight by just losing weight. There's a lot of other things that go into that. It's the same thing here. You want productive agents, you want cash flow, you want these different things. It's a byproduct of something else. So everything starts with a lot and ends with a few. That is how life works. Think about becoming a doctor, right? You don't just become a doctor. Every kid that said to their parents, I want to be a doctor, did not become a doctor, will not become a doctor, right? A lot of people said, I want to be a doctor, and then they took their first science class, chemistry class. Now fewer people are going to become a doctor, right? And then they took their first AP class in high school, and now fewer people are becoming a doctor. And then they applied for pre-med, and a lot of them didn't make it, and fewer people are now becoming a doctor. And then they got into pre-med, and the teacher said, look to your right, look to your left. Those people won't be here at the end of this program. And now even fewer people are becoming a doctor. And then they had to apply for their MCAT, and they didn't get a good enough score. And now fewer people are becoming a doctor. And then they went through their first year of medical school, which is a weed out year for medical students. And now fewer of them are becoming a doctor. And then they have to, even when they finish medical school, right? They have to go into residency. This is where they're underpaid and overworked and working, 20 hours a day. And now fewer people are becoming a doctor. Does that make sense? Everything is a weed out process. Right? And it goes from a lot and it turns into a few. Isn't it the same thing as sports? Everybody wants to go to NBA. Everybody wants to go to NFL. A lot of people want to go to college, but it's a weed out process throughout the years to get the best of the best. That is how it works. That's how prospecting works. That's how finding RVPs works. That's how finding clients work. Now, lucky for us, it's not thousands into just a few, but there is a weed out process. That's why front end activity and being in the habit of doing front end activity is so important, because you have to start with a lot of front end activity, and that will lead to the results that you want, right? A lot of people want to get the position. A lot of people want to win the contest, right? Everything starts out with a lot of people who want something and then few who actually get it. Let's go to the next slide. So all results are a byproduct of certain activities. Here's the thing. You want to make more money? Well, you are going to have more sales closed. You have to move backwards. How do you make money? You have to close sales. He just taught you right now how to close sales. He learned how to close sales from his presentation. So the focus was on closing sales. If I know what to say when I get in front of the client, I'm going to close a sale and now I'm going to make money. It was a byproduct. But guess what? You're not going to close a sale unless you can actually be on an appointment. So then the focus is, okay, well, how do I get on the appointment, right? I have to learn how to set the appointment. Let me learn what to say so then I can be on the appointment, then I can close the appointment, then I get that cash flow that I want, right? Well, in order to get an appointment set, hey, what do you say, right? He has to actually perform that call or message. Some people do know what to say, but they're not actually making the call, right? That's why more and more training a lot of times isn't the answer, because it's not a skill issue, it's a will issue. Always remember this. Bill Whittle taught us this. If someone's not winning, it's one of two reasons or both. It's skill or will. Will is what? Your desire to go and make it happen and you doing it, right? And then maybe you're willing to make the call. You're willing to send that message. You know what to say, but you don't have anyone to say it to. You haven't identified a prospect. So what does it come down to, right? If you want to make more money, you have to do more what? Prospecting. That's the front end activity. I've never met someone who has 1 million prospects, but then didn't get any premium and didn't make any money. Usually it's the other way around. They know what to say, they know what to do, they know whatever, but they have no one to say it to because they're not putting that work in. Tonight I have dinner with a client that I've befriended, right? I like spending time with him and his wife, but I also like to get more referrals. That's part of my prospecting game, right? That's part of me building my network and them making introductions because I'm getting personal with them. I'm getting in their lives, right? I do these different things. Now, people want recruits. You know, he has a recruit named Meriday. In my opinion, I mean, she is an absolute superstar. Can't wait till you guys meet her, right? The way she is, her attitude, her market, her credibility, her desire, her work ethic, her time management, her people skills, all of these. She didn't learn that in Primerica. We luckily got her that way. That could be, I mean, I was really thinking about it. One recruit, man, it could be life-changing for you. You find one good recruit, and now you can go RVP, right? It's so powerful just finding. And where did you find her?
She at a shop, auto shop.
Where he gets his car fixed, he prospected the owner. Think about that. One recruit could change everything. But you want to recruit, right? How are you going to get that recruit? Maybe it comes from an orientation video, right? They have to get to the point to where they've already watched the orientation and they're at that, I mean, the interview video or whatever you call it, recruiting video, recruiting webinar, whatever, right? Animated video. If you want to see people join from watching my orientation, right? But they're not going to watch my orientation if they already didn't get that initial introduction into the company. The initial introduction came from a call or a message. Hey, Rod, what's up, man? Dude, I got to tell you about this opportunity. I think that you would be a great fit, or maybe you wouldn't be a great fit, but I just want you to see what I do. Maybe you can refer me to people in the future. Do you mind just giving me 17 minutes of your time, man? Watch this video. Let me know what you think. Right? What time are you going to watch it? Okay, cool. So I'll call you 20 minutes after that time, and let's discuss some of the things that you saw on there. If he's interested, then I can be like, hey, you know what? We have a part 2 to that. Every question you have right now, the video is going to answer for you. How about you watch part 2? Now he's going to be a recruit, right? But I had to make that call. I had to make that call to Rod so he could watch the video, watch the orientation, then become a recruit. So The focus needs to be on the front end. We all want recruits, but how many calls and messages are we setting trying to get people to watch the video? Right? Identify prospects. See, it doesn't matter whether you want to make money or whether you want to build a team. It doesn't matter. In any business, mortgage, real estate, insurance, selling windows, right? Restaurant, you have to identify the prospect. I live in a building right across the street. They opened up. I'm very excited about it. Today it opens. It's a barbecue restaurant, right? So I love barbecue. And they've identified everyone in the building as a prospect because it's in the building. So when you're in the elevator, that little TV screen in the elevator, it's like, we're opening, this is the menu, this is the picture of the food. Every day, we're all getting excited because we can just go downstairs and go to this place. We are the prospect. This is what business is about. Everyone thinks that business is so fun because you see on Instagram that the business owners have all the freedom and everyone knows who they are and they have this amazing product. No one knows who you are unless you know how to prospect and you have a lot of freaking customers. That's what business is about. People see Primerica, they're like, wait a second, I have to talk to people, I have to sell, I have to market. Where are you going to go where you don't have to do those things? Business is business. The issues that you have with Primerica is not a Primerica issue, it's a business issue. You don't want to hire people? You don't want to learn how to sell? You don't want to make calls? You don't want to get uncomfortable? You don't want to hear the word no? That's not a Primerica issue, that's a business issue. And if you have a business issue, guess what? You're going to be an employee. Because I agree with you, most employees don't have to do any of those things. Right? And I wasn't okay with being an employee, so I learned how to do these things. Your life has to, for a period of time, revolve around building your market so you can get more prospects. It's not okay to have the same 5 friends that you do everything with every weekend. Right? Do you do that, Sheila? Are you with the same 4 people? She has 1,000 friends and making more. And going to different birthday parties and going to different weddings and godsons and daughters and graduations and everything that you can think of. Baptisms and whatever, right? There's always things going on. Think about your life. And I know how this is because that's how me, Shaq, and Brett were friends just with each other. And then that was the core. And then we had a few people outside of that. And that was it. And we thought that was cool. You're not getting in this group, right? We were very exclusive. That doesn't work when you're in business. You have to be inclusive. We had to break that up. And we're spending time with our own teams and meeting new people. And it went from us only seeing each other to us not really, what are we going to do with each other? We're not learning. We're not growing. We have to make new friends. That's part of what's holding people back is that your life is in this routine of being around the same exact people, doing the same things, talking about the same things, right? After interactions, I basically take an inventory of what just happened. Like, what did we just talk about this entire time? I don't say it out loud. I'm thinking in my head. Like, wow, that was a waste of time. That was a conversation that didn't get me anywhere. I'm seeking out high quality conversations that don't just lead to money and more business or whatever, but some growth. Can I learn about what you do? Can you teach me something new? Right? Can you get me to look at something a different way? I'm not talking about the Kardashians. I'm not talking about music. I'm not talking about Netflix. Those conversations happen around me, but I don't have much input to give in those situations. Right? And guys, it doesn't mean that I'm different than you in the sense that I don't like to talk about those. Like I wouldn't get any enjoyment out of it. I do. It's candy, like I said last time, right? I love candy. I love desserts. Conversations can be candy too, but they don't do anything for you. You know what I mean? Like if you want to make real money, a part of your life has to be devoted to being in front of the right people, man. Right? Being around the right people, putting yourself in scenarios that are going to help you grow as an individual. Right? So spending time with your same, 4 friends, 8 friends that you grew up with or have known forever, or the people that are in the same industry as you, or your coworkers, right? Once you initially try to recruit them and sell them, and maybe you do and maybe you don't, dude, you got to move on, man. And I have this conversation with a lot of people that are close to me, and I tell them, like, hey, you can't be at everything, everywhere, and be everyone's everything, and be the helper, and be the one that they can count on. For a period of time, they're not going to hear from you. No one building something great, accomplishing something great, it just shows up at everything. Right? The story that they tell about successful people is like, damn, she just like disappeared for 2 years, and now, boom, she's on top of the world. That's what they're going to say about you. So if you're that person that picks up every call and shows up to everything and can be everywhere and do everything, it's like you can't possibly be doing anything special in your life, right? Steve Jobs said it, Warren Buffett says it, the self-improvement books say it. This is very important. One of the most important things when it comes to being successful is learning how to say no. It's difficult, right? It's not. I have this sick pleasure. I like saying no. Right? I'm like, no, right? I'm not going. I'm not showing up. I'm not, right? Because I just don't care anymore. But I see it, man. It's like this gravitational pull with your friends and your family. This obligation that people put on you to like suck up all your time into things that, it's like, hey, man, they're not doing something great in their life, or they're not doing something right now. They're not striving for something, reaching for something. You are, man. You don't have time to do everything. Go out, make new friends, put yourself in a situation where you can meet new people and strategically make relationships. Right? A lot of people don't like when I talk about this. They're like, oh, are you using people? No, I have a lot to offer too, man. If you have a relationship with me, yes, maybe I'll gain something, but I'm damn sure you're going to get something from me too. It's a two-way street. I'm not just a taker. I can give, right? And a lot of times I give early and often before I get anything back. That's the way you got to think. This thing is all about relationships. The quality of your life is about relationships, but you got to make new ones, right? That's what's holding all of us back. If you weren't making new ones at a high rate, how would we have any issues, man, finding new people, getting new clients? Primerica is an awesome company. A lot of people can't wait for an opportunity like this, right? Time compounds just like money, right? What are you going to do every day? We know money compounds. You see it on the internet all the time, on social media. What would you rather have? Like $1 million right now, or a penny that doubled every day for 30 days, whatever that calculation is? Because money compounds. Our brains can't comprehend. Here's the thing, time compounds too. How much time are you willing to put in your business? A very important concept in scheduling is block timing. Time blocks is actually what you say, right? Time block. Even if, Samir, I'm at a job all day. You get a lunch break, right? How long is your lunch break? 1 hour. Eat for 30 minutes, work on your business 30 minutes. Now 5 days a week, that's 2.5 hours in a week. In a month, that's 10 hours that you weren't putting in before. After 3 months, that's 30 hours. 30 hours of concentration, work, phone calls, focus, writing things down, reaching out to people, hearing no, hearing yes, setting appointments. Tell me where your business is. You can't sporadically do anything and be successful. You have to have time blocks. Think about it. You have friends and you call them at 7, and what do they say? Right? Hey, man, game's on tonight. Celtics playing. Like, what's up? Dude, I go to the gym at this time. Oh, yeah, sorry. That's their time block. It's so important to them. Right? Or it's the other way around. You want to go to the gym? Dude, I'm not missing this game. Time block. Right?
Yes.
You call Smaldo, I don't know, it's Friday or Saturday. Hey, man, man, I got this date night with my wife. Right? Time block. And we know work has a time block for you, 9 to 5. So in all these other things, we've blocked out time and no one's going to interrupt us. But when it comes to our own business, right, we just do it when we can. When something falls in our lap, it doesn't work that way. You got to have a time block. This is a forced time block. And look how productive we are in these couple of hours that we get to see you guys. I feel better because I get to talk about all these things. I get to hear you guys. I get to see your progress. Afterwards, I'm motivated to see clients. You guys set appointments. In this little time block, what does it do for your week? Imagine if you had a time block much shorter, right? Maybe didn't involve everybody, but that where you could be productive. What would it compound to? You know, I always say that people say 6-minute abs, like that can't work, right? 6-minute abs, do 6 minutes a day. Let me see you after 90 days. 6 minutes a day compounds, trust me. 6 minutes isn't easy. But 6 minutes, 90 days in a row, let's see where you're at. It's the same thing. Maybe you start out with 2 text messages, 2 phone calls, whatever. It's going to compound. In the beginning, it'll be uncomfortable. Then you don't want to miss that time. You'll challenge yourself to do it, right? So what will you do every day? How many messages? How many calls? How many confirmed invites? How many appointments set? What are you going to do in that 30-minute time block? Hey, I promise you, first 3 days, you'll be staring at a blank paper. It's okay. Just keep going. I read in a book one time, nothing can't be solved if you think about it for 30 minutes a day. The problem is thinking is sometimes difficult for us because it's so much easier to put on a podcast or turn on the radio or turn on music or just call someone, right? You ever get those phone calls and it's like, dude, every time you call me, you're driving somewhere. Like you're just bored and now you're calling me. Because people don't want to, thinking is an exercise, right? You got to write down your goals. You got to think about it. And I always like to think about this, right? I have a checklist of things and I'm like, man, I would feel great about this day if I could do all of these things in one day. So, you know, you can read or pray. That's an important part. So you have maybe your scriptures and then you have your, your self-improvement. If you just got a little bit of that a day, some people say 10 pages a day. 10 pages a day in a book, after a month is 300 pages, right? Do a little bit of exercise. You can do it at home. You can do it in the gym, right? Easier at home, right? Then you have a little time block for your activity. You make a few prospects and calls that you commit to, right? You spend the time with your family. And then if you can go out on an appointment or an interview and put yourself in a position where you can win the day, where you can get some type of result, wouldn't that be an awesome day? You'd be guilt-free. The guilt comes from what? 7 days have gone by, haven't made a call, haven't set an appointment, didn't eat right, didn't exercise, didn't pray, didn't read, right? Everything is, the way you feel about yourself has to do with how productive you are in a sense, right? If you want to feel better, then you have to be very intentional about how your day goes. And this is the way that I think about it. So I think that these are some adjustments that we can incorporate into our lives, into our schedule, right? So let's recap. It's all about front-end activity. All business owners, no matter where you go, are trying to find people that fit their products and their opportunities. And business owners are on the front end. Employees work on the back end. Business owners, front end, right? What was the other thing we went over? Activity, right? Everything that you want is a byproduct of something else. Time block, set out a block of your time where you can work no matter what. Is most important for full-timers, but is just as important for part-timers as well. And then what would your perfect day be? And do a little bit of that every single day, and you'll feel great about your day.